Hello beautiful people, it's your girl Jeannie and it's Jeannie Signatures. Yeah, so today I'll be making this bandless skirt with a crop top and a trumpet sleeve. So if this is what you're interested in, please kindly watch till the end. I made use of lining. I turned everything out with lining. So I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful bandless skirt and the crop top. So please relax, sit back and enjoy this ride. Thank you all, and thank you to my amazing subscribers. Thank you, and God bless you all. So without wasting much time, let's get right into it. Yeah. So yes, on the table I had already cut out the amount of fabric I'll be making use of. So I'll be cutting the skirt part first before cutting the upper part. And so in order for you to determine the amount of fabric you need, just divide your hip measurement by 4 and then you add extra inches, like 2 inches extra, so that you'll be able to get exactly what you want. But for this, I think I'm cutting the upper part first, and like I divided my bust measurement by 4 and then I added extra inches with the ease allowance so that it will be easy for me. And for the crop top, whatever where you want your crop top to get to, please kindly indicate and mark as appropriate. So for mine, my client's zone is 19 inches because she's quite tall. So I have 19 inches with sewing allowances right there on the table. So the first thing I'll be making taking note of is for you to know that this is not going to be having a zipper. It's going to be the same thing as the front and then as the back. The only difference is going to be the armhole curves. So I've marked out my shoulder measurement divided by 2 and then I'm coming down for my armhole. So whatever your armhole measurement is, please kindly measure. And so now I'll be rolling that out to join the shoulder. I know most of us are used to this process by now. Yeah, so just roll it out to indicate the armhole and then of course the shoulder. So now I will be coming down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and then for the neck depth I'll be making use of 3.5 inches because this is not going to be having a zipper, so you need to make it a point of duty that it will be easy to wear. And then for the depth I'll be coming down by 4.5 inches, so by the time I join it on the shoulders it will go back to 4 inches automatically. And so this of course will be having a round neckline, so I'll be connecting my shoulder slope and then my neckline. So for this neckline, I'm going to be making use of the same neck width and neck depth for both the front and the back. So I'll be dividing my bust measurements into 4 and then I'll mark whatever that is, and then I'll make sure I add 1 inch for ease, or if you like you can add half inch depending on how big you want or bogus you want it to be, and then I'll be adding 1 inch or 1.5 inches as sewing allowance. So please mark any sewing allowances that you feel that you are good to go with. And so whatever I have on my bust measurement, I'll be replicating that on the waist measurement because of course this has to be free. So I've connected that, and then for my armhole I'll just come down and divide that into 2, get the midpoint, and then for the front curve I'm going to be coming in by half an inch and then I'll carve it to meet the bust measurement, and then for the back it will be the normal armhole, as we all know that this is the usual method of doing that, so it's not something that is odd. So that is, I have the back and then I have the front armhole. So I'll just go right ahead and cut this out. You can see that this is quite easy and straightforward to do. So I'll be cutting that out. So I'll be cutting out the back armhole first. And then the shoulder slope. I made sure that I added half an inch to that. If you notice, I didn't cut out the whole 1 inch. And then I'm cutting out the neckline. And so yes, we have both the front and the back. So for the front, I will be adjusting the armholes to make it proper. Yeah, so we have both the front and then the back. So this is not going to be having a dart. It's just a simple and free and short top. So that is why it's called a crop top. So I'll be setting this aside and then I'll be going over to the cutting of the skirt. So yeah, I have a channel on my tutorial, a tutorial on my channel showing how to cut a basic skirt. So for that skirt, I added a band, but for this skirt, there's not going to be a band. It's going to be a bandless skirt, because as you can see on the thumbnail, there was no band in that skirt. So there's no need for me to minus 2 inches that I'm going to be adding it later on and all that blah blah blah. Nah. So basically, I'm just going to be getting the length of my skirt and then I'm going to be inputting all the measurements as appropriate. So in order for you to know what you need to have, just divide your hip by 4 and then you add extra 2 or 3 inches depending on what you want, and that is it. So I'll be cutting out the front as usual, and I just got my waist to hip, sorry. So I'm marking up my waist to hip measurements because that's where we'll be inputting our hip measurement. So my waist to hip is 10 inches because like I said, my client is tall. So, and then for my hip, my waist rather, I want to divide it into 2. You know, when the measurement is having all these half inches and all, you just need to make sure so that you won't run into trouble. So that is why I'm using my tape to divide that into 4 so that I'll get accurate here. So that is what I'll be marking on the waist. So whatever that is, please kind of mark your waist divided by 4. You add 1 inch for that because the skirt is going to be having a dart, and then you have adding 2 inches as sewing allowance. And then on the hip side, I'll be dividing my hip equally by 4, and then I'll be adding 2 inches sewing allowance because of course the hip is not going to be having a dart. The dart is normally and usually always be on the waistline. So I'm adding 2 inches to that. Then I'll be connecting that. And so depending on whatever you want, whatever you have on your hip measurement, you can remove 1 inch or 1.5 inches and then mark whatever you have on the lower part. So for mine, I just removed 1 inch from what I have on my hip measurement and then I connected that because I don't want it to be too pencil. Because as you can see on the thumbnail, the skirt was not too tight at the knee part. It was just like, it was not like a big skirt, but neither was it too tight. So I'm through with this, and then the next thing we're going to be doing right about now is just to get my dart. So I'll be dividing my nipple to nipple or my bust span measurement into 2. I'll mark that, and then from my waist to hip measurement, I'll be going up by 3 inches. You can go for 2 if you want. So, and then I'll connect that line and then take my darts half inch on both sides and then connect. So that will be my darts. So this tutorial is equally good for people that don't really know how to cut a basic skirt. So this skirt is just bandless because it's not going to be having a band. So we have our dart. I'm going to be nudging that and then I'll cut it out. So basically cutting out the back is very easy. All you need to do is just to please just add your zipper allowance and that will be it. So please, if you have watched up to this level, kindly hit on that subscribe button, like, share, and please kindly subscribe. And equally click on your notification icon so that you be ready alerted when I upload new videos. Yeah, thank you. So yes, I already marked out my sewing allowances for my zipper so that this will not tutorial will not be too long. So I made use of 1.5 inches. So whatever inches you feel you can go for, please kindly mark on your fabric and then place like this. Make sure you place it on that line and then you cut out exactly what you have right there on the fabric. Yes, so I'll just have to notch my zipper allowance and then I'll notch the dart area. There's no need for me to repeat my dart measurement because that is exactly where it's supposed to be. So when I'm sewing it, I'll know how many inches to come by with. You can just come down by 4 or 5 inches and then you'll take in your dart. So I'll be slitting this open to indicate that this is the back pieces or back piece. And so for this tutorial, this skirt, I'll be making use of a lining because the one I had on my channel, I didn't really use a lining. But this tutorial is going to be having a lining and I'll be right back because I will have to go and cut out my lining for each and every piece of this tutorial. So the only thing that will not be having a lining will be my sleeves because I don't want to put a lining on that. So I'll just be going over to cut my sleeves first before now I'll go ahead and cut out the lining for the others. So for my sleeve, the sleeve length is 24 inches. And then of course for the width, whatever amount you want or how wide you want your trumpet sleeves to look like. So that is totally dependent on you. So you need to put into consideration the amount of fabric you have before engaging in such a style. So like mine, I've cut it out and I've seen that this will be enough. So basically I'm marking out my armhole measurement like so with 1 inch sewing allowance, and then I'll be coming down by 5 inches, which is the calf's height. That's the standard calf's height, 5 inches. And then I'll be rolling that line straight. So this tutorial is basically to show some people that this is like the third or fourth time that I've been showing us how to cut a basic sleeve. So this is like like a tutorial equally on how to cut a basic sleeve. So I'll be getting the midpoint of that. I just want to mark it very well so that it will be visible to show very well. Yeah, so I had to push it up. Yeah, so I'm going. Yeah, I came down by 5 inches and then I rolled out the line and then slanted that to meet the edge of the round sleeve. And so getting the midpoint of that, I'll be making an inverted S using half an inch. You'll see the way I'm going to be doing that. So that's the midpoint, and then from this pointed edge, I'll just draw like an inverted S to meet the other hand. Just like half an inch or a quarter of an inch, you come to that and then you see the way I did it. So that's exactly how you get your curve. So all this I'm just trying to do it so that it won't be as if I did magic. So right from there, I'm just going to slant it to the edge of the fabric. So before you do that, just try to ascertain whether your armhole is up to that. So I even have more than enough, so it's always better to be safe, and then you slant it down like so, just to give you that A shape of a thing. So you cut it out. So I'll be cutting out another sleeve because this is only one. So we have one of the sleeves. So you can see the shape as it looks. So I'll be cutting another one. And so yes, I have the two sleeves because the second one, the length was not enough, so I had to join it. That's what I'm trying to show you. I had to join it there so that it will be enough. So, but it didn't show because of the nature of the fabric. Yes, it has enough pattern, so it was not visible. So even when I finished and gave it a good press, it was not visible. So these are all the things that we just cut out right now. I'm just trying to show you because some people have told me that my tutorials are damn fast, so that is why I'm trying my best possible to take it easy so that I'll show you everything. So these are all the things that we just cut out right now. So what I'll be doing now is just to cut out my lining for this, and then I'll be showing you how I join them one after the other. Please kindly ignore the background, I'm so sorry. So I'd already cut out my lining, as you can see. I'd cut out everything. So you can see I did this the next day and it was even at night. So because I was very busy, but I just had to make this up. I think it took me like 3 days before I could finish this because I had a lot of things to do. So I'm sorry about that. So I'll be turning it with my lining. I'm going to be turning this all through. I'll be doing the same thing to the back of the upper part because I need to use the lining to turn everything. And then for the skirt parts, I'll be reducing my lining by 1 inch because I added 1 inch as my sewing allowance, so I don't want to fold it at the lower part. I want everything to be inside the lining, so I'm just going to be reducing my lining by 1 inch. So I'll be reducing that by 1 inch as you see me do. I don't know why my camera was like this as at this point, but okay. So I'm cutting it out just to reduce the lining by 1 inch. I'll be doing that for the back lining too. So I'll be placing the front on the back and then reducing it. So if you feel like you won't get the accurate thing here, please just kindly measure the same 1 inch on that back piece and then cut out instead of placing on it. So, but that is what I did, and I've always done it, and it has always worked for me. So yeah, I'm through with this now. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is just to go and take it to my sewing machine, sew everything and turn it. So for this skirt, I'll be turning from the lower part first. I'm going to sew that lower part first. I'll sew half an inch, notch it, and then top stitch, and then flip it. Okay, and then of course sew the waist area, top stitch equally, do my darts, and sew the sides. And then when you're sewing the sides, please don't sew totally, because how would you turn it? When you're sewing one side of the skirt, make sure you leave like 5 inches unsewn. Then you turn it out and then you can just sew it a little up after sewing it. So I believe you understand what I'm saying. So let me go right and do that, and then I'll be right back to show you how it looks. So yeah, as at this time I had gone, see, I stayed all through the night because I wanted to finish this day, but I just couldn't. So you can see the lower part where I removed 1 inch. You can see that after removing everything, you can see it indicating that the 1 inch at the lower part. So that was what I wanted. So you can see that the skirt is bandless. I've done the same thing to these back pieces. Everything is sitting pretty. I had given it a very good press here. I'll then put my darts, and also the next thing I'll be doing now is to put my zipper and then close my skirt, like taking out the normal measurements that is supposed to be there, and then I'll be back to show you. And then for the crop top, I had already gone ahead to turn that equally with my lining. As you can see, everything is looking beautiful, neat, and sitting pretty. So I turned it, both the front and the back. As you can see, I've given it a very good press and all. So we're almost through. So I'll be joining this on the shoulder by ½ inch. And then I'll close up the sides, that is bringing out the normal measurements for my client, and then I'll be back to show you the two at the same time, that is the crop top and then the skirt, of course. So yeah, this was the next day again. So as at this time I had closed up the skirt, you can see how beautiful it's looking, and you can see that the camera is even brighter because it's daytime. So you can see the back, everything is looking beautiful and neat. That's the zipper. You can see the band is bandless. It's very beautiful. So that's what I'm trying to show you. You can see it. So I'll be setting that aside because the skirt is ready. And then for the crop top, I'd already closed up my sides, as you can see. Yeah, close the top by the sides. So the next thing, or the last thing I'll be doing now, is to fix my sleeves. So let me bring my sleeves. So these are my sleeves. So I'd already shaped out my sleeve, taking the accurate armhole, and I've used the bias to turn the length of the hem so that it will be neat, since I'm not using a lining for that. So what I'll be doing now is just to fix my sleeves, and then I'll be right back to show you how it looks. So after fixing the sleeves and all, this is how it looks. Oh, this is really beautiful. The camera is not doing justice to this. I don't know why. It's so beautiful and looking neat and ooh, luscious. So you can see the skirt, and this is the top, the crop top, so sitting pretty on the table. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. And most importantly, God bless you all for all you do. Thank you. Thank you. Please stay tuned and watch out for my next tutorials, because it's going to be bangers. Thank you all. And have a productive week. Thank you. Bye.